Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Esposito. I'll be your master of ceremonies again for this year's Pearl Harbor ceremony. This is the 79th celebration of that fateful day of 1941. I want to welcome everyone to this year's ceremony, and I want to give my heartfelt thanks to all the servicemen and women who suffered and died during that horrible attack, and to the rest of the servicemen and women who helped protect our country throughout the years since then. Today we're going to start off the opening ceremonies with the Pledge of Allegiance from Mr. Al Terr from the West Haven Veterans Council. Al, everyone stand, please.
Gotta lower that. I'm sure. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, Al.
You're welcome.
Everyone, please keep standing. We're going to have Ms. Nora Mullins, our annual guest here. She'll be doing our national anthem. She's a senior at West Haven High School. Nora, you want the microphone?
Attention. Water arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you.
Next, we will have the invocation from Elliott Hastings, our chaplain for the West Haven Veterans Council.
Uncover. Strengthen and comfort, O Lord, all who mourn for the loss of loved ones now departed this life. Some have died in the service of our country, and some having served this nation both in war and peace, are now at rest. Be with those who mourn in their sorrow, support them in their loneliness, grant that they may know nothing in life, not even in death, can separate them from your love. Amen. Amen. Cover.
Thank you, Elliott. Now we'll have remarks from Senator Richard Blumenthal.
Hi, I'm Richard Blumenthal, your United States Senator. I am proud and honored to participate with West Haven in marking this solemn day. We commemorate and remember the 17 Connecticut men who perished on December 7th, 1941, a day that has indeed lived in infamy. And we remember the many Connecticut men and women who were such heroes on that day, saving other lives. One of them was Floyd Welsh, who recently passed away. In fact, he died on August 17th of this year. Floyd Welsh was an American patriot and a hero on that day because he braved dive bombing planes, fire and smoke to cut away parts of the USS Oklahoma so that 33 lives could be saved. I was proud to count Floyd as a friend and to listen to his stories over the years about that terrible day and about his service afterward, because he was stationed there on the USS Maryland. American heroes like Floyd live around Connecticut. They are part of the greatest generation, and others who have been inspired by them. And we should always remember the importance of our strength, our military strength, to deter this kind of tragic, abhorrent attack on our nation. So today has special meaning, and I want to thank again West Haven for recognizing that significance and for always reminding us, as you have every year. Next year, I hope it will be in person, and I thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Now we'll have remarks from our Mayor, Nancy R. Rossi, Mayor, City of West Haven. Mayor.
Good afternoon, everyone. On this day, 79 years ago, 2,403 Americans were killed and 1,178 others were wounded in the surprise military strikes at Pearl Harbor. This event would launch the neutral United States into action during World War II to protect the democratic freedoms enjoyed by Americans, our allies, and many others around the world. The men and women who lived during this tumultuous time would become known as the greatest generation. As time passes, events such as the horrific attack on Pearl Harbor seem to drift into the historic domain. If we do not take the time to remember this atrocity, we risk a sense of disconnection that dishonors the memory of those who died. Earlier this year, Connecticut lost Floyd Welch, age 99, of East Lyme, Connecticut. He was the last known Connecticut-born survivor of the Pearl Harbor attack. Floyd served on the USS Maryland and helped save the lives of many aboard the bombarded USS Oklahoma. Along with other servicemen, Floyd helped pull 33 survivors from the burning and sinking ship while still under aerial fire. West Haven is fortunate to have created places such as Bradley Point, the Soderman Memorial Flagpole, and our Veterans Walk of Honor, where we can gather to remember our military and honor heroes like Floyd Welch. In the spirit of remembrance, we also honor the 18 military lives from Connecticut that were lost on December 7, 1941. Also, sometimes forgotten are the American and Allied lives lost in subsequent days in Guam, the Philippines, Wake Island, Malaysia, Singapore, and Hong Kong, who were subject to similar surprise attacks. These losses and the horrific memory of that day in 1941 are why we join the Americans all over the world on December 7th, National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. Thank you to the West Haven Veterans Council and all of our veterans for your service to our nation and for defending democracy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Rossi. Now I have a few words from the West Haven Veterans Council President David Ricci.
You snuck it in.
Yes.
Well, thank you all for coming. Pearl Harbor, I wasn't around when that happened. It was tragic. And we have this day to remember these guys and women who lost their lives there, and the ones that's actually saved lives. So keep all those people in your prayers, and never forget Pearl Harbor. And thank you, Mayor, for acknowledging us, Lou, the Veterans Council. We're a small group of guys, but we like to do what's right for the veterans. We have here Florence Stober, whose husband was a Pearl Harbor survivor. I'm very grateful that you could be here today. And that's about it. Enjoy the rest of the ceremony. And good luck to all of you. God bless America.
Thank you, Dave. We're going to have Mrs. Florence Stober, wife of the former serviceman Jack Stober. Florence helped us out last year. She had her grandson with her. This year she's going to be reading off the names, and the West Haven Fire Department will be ringing the bell for each name. And I want to give a thank you to the West Haven Fire Department and their honor guard that's here for the ringing of the bell. So Florence, if you would come up.
Start reading.
That's it.
Eric Allen. Henry Ludwig Carlson. Edward Goslin. Vincent Horan. Henry John Lanquette. John Cavallero Lunta. William T. O'Neill. Stanislav Joseph Orzek. Richard Patterson. Stephen Pepe. George Pavesco. Mike George Quarto. Thomas James Reeves. William Eugene Seeley. George Smith. Gordon Sterling. Felix Wergeson. Almont Irving Whitehead.
That's all.
I'd like to thank everyone that's participating here today, the City of West Haven, the mayor, and all that are associated, the fire department, police department. I'm very grateful. You've been very faithful all these years in executing the ceremony at Bradley Point. And recently I was going through some things of my husband, and I found a letter that he had written to his dad on his way home. He was in 1945 coming back, and or he would 46, and he wrote to his dad telling him that he was looking forward to coming home and taking care of him. Jack had lost his mother on the way going out west, and he had emergency leave, and he had to travel out all by himself with his unit. And on the way back, while he was writing this letter, he did not know, but his dad had died during the course of that time. So he lost his mother when he was going, and he lost his father when he was coming home. But his thoughts were always on taking care of his parents. He told me that his mother and dad, he gave them their just honor for giving him life. And he was just a man that was so considerate of everybody. Thank you.
Lawrence, that was very moving. I'm glad you shared that story with us. We never heard that from you before, but my heartfelt thanks to you and your family, and especially to your husband, who helped protect us.
Well, I'm hoping that, next year I can provide a nice program. I'll
Well-
talk to you later about that.
God willing, I hope we're all here next year.
We will be.
Now we will have the laying of the wreath by Mayor Nancy Rossi at Bradley Point. Thank you, Mayor Rossi. Closing comments for me will be that being a former serviceman, I didn't serve during the Pearl Harbor era, as we all know, but I'm very proud of my service time, and I'm very proud of all my brothers who have served and who served in combat to help keep us free, to keep this country free. And I never lose sight of the fact that if it weren't for us veterans or servicemen who have served, some who gave their lives, we wouldn't be here today celebrating any of our victories. So once again, I want to reach out and thank everyone. And I just want to remind the people to make sure that you observe this special day. Take a moment to say a little prayer for those that lost their lives and for those that are suffering still, and especially during these tough times of COVID. We should make sure that we look after our neighbors and say a prayer for everyone. Thank you all. Now we'll have the benediction from Chaplain Hastings.
Uncover. May the strength of God sustain us. May the power of God preserve us. May the hands of God protect us, and may the way of God direct us. May the love of God go with us this day and forever. Amen.
Amen.
Cover.
Now the part of our ceremony that I think a lot of us wait for, sadly though, it's the playing of the taps. We have retired Lieutenant Kevin McKeon from the West Shore Fire Department. Kevin?
Order arms.
Once again, thank you all for coming. That will conclude today's ceremonies. Thank you.
Thank you.